Allegations continue to fly back and forth between the Labour Party and embattled MP Gaurav Sharma. The first-term MP for Hamilton West has alleged bullying with specific allegations about party whips and the parliamentary service. Sharma's written to the Labour Party and caucus asking for an investigation into his allegations. At least 3 staff members have claimed they raised concerns about Sharma after they quit. Former Labour Party staffer Shane Tepor told Kate Hawkesby it may be time to change how MPs and their staff interact.
Pooling construct where you would have people who have human resource experience, people who know how to manage staff rather than direct MPs.
New government rules announced today mean local councils will be able to run public transport services themselves. Currently, they contract them out to private companies, with services operated under council branding like Auckland's AT or Wellington's Metlink, run by private operators. The government's scrapping the public transport operating model and replacing it with a sustainable public transport framework. Transport Minister Michael Wood hopes the change to a less corporate model will help councils address the bus driver shortage. He says an emphasis on cost cutting has driven down driver pay and led to them leaving. Doubt that an endorsement from former Auckland mayoral candidate Leo Molloy will mean much by October's election. After withdrawing at the 11th hour, Molloy says he'll be meeting with candidate Viv Beck's team to discuss potential endorsement. Beck hasn't commented, and fellow candidate Wayne Brown says voters are too smart to be traded or directed. Massey University Politics and Public Policy Associate Professor Grant Duncan says it's not clear which direction Molloy supporters would head.
He can give someone an endorsement, but it may mean nothing in terms of the choices of those people. They're not sheep.
A warning to health authorities after staff at Wellington Hospital reported symptoms associated with fume inhalation. It relates to a diesel heater used in a temporary COVID screening tent earlier this year. Workers reported symptoms of dizziness, even though a DHB assessment found no meaningful levels of carbon monoxide. But Auckland Public Health Specialist Denise Barnfather says it depends on when the test was done. She says it can be difficult to detect carbon monoxide poisoning in a person if the blood test is done too late. Uber's praising its push to support local, which resulted in an extra $88 million in additional revenue last year. A company report shows Uber generated $1.2 billion in economic value for New Zealand in 2021. And it also shows 88% of Uber Eats users agree food delivery apps make it easier to discover new restaurants. 52% say it helped improve quality of life when they weren't allowed to eat out during COVID lockdowns. Uber Eats Australia and New Zealand General Manager Beck Neist says they were beginning to see growth before the pandemic.
But if anything, what we saw in the pandemic is what we think was an acceleration of consumer adoption of online food delivery that really brought forward that growth.
The Abuse and Care Royal Commission of Inquiry will hear from a range of people leading government agencies over the next 10 days. They'll include Children's Commissioner Judge Francis Ivers, Police Commissioner Andrew Costa and Acting Director General of Health Dr. Diana Safeti.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.